I'm solving his question. It has nothing to do with the movie.
With the big bird, even though this has nothing to do with the big bird cage yet.
That's got to do with Pam's first appearance in the motion picture, which is the Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
And that was an extra. And then they said, "Oh, she can speak. Let her speak." Yes, it was the Russ Myers. I was literally standing around as a intern, and I just looked different. And they said, "Can you fix your hair?" They were just pulling people in for free. We weren't a member of the union. I would do the same. Come on in, just stand here, stand by the actresses. And that was a day that kind of experienced the Russ Meyer legacy, and it was quite extraordinary. I could see why people become so impassioned, so in love with filmmaking. And at the time when you had so many political agendas, so many things happening with filmmaking, with women especially, it was extraordinary to document that. So that was my first little bitty kind of role. And I wasn't even supposed to speak, I just started talking. And I think they told me to shut up several times, but people were talking to me. I didn't know you're supposed to go. And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, like that. Shh, shh. And I was supposed to talk. No, let her talk, let her talk. And then they said, "Can you do an accent?" "Oh, yes, of course. Can I?" "Sure, certainly." So I spoke in this British tongue. It was hilarious. And then I said, "Oh, this is so much fun. I got to do this more."
We have time for one more.
Now I've sparked.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I guess the fact that we're all actually in this theater probably answers the question for me. But did you? And obviously you said that
You need help.
Yes, I do.
That's okay. No, I'm in love with it, and I would never turn back and never say or dismiss or any of the films that I've done. I love them all. I learned so much from them.
What I was going to say was, did you think, because you said that Roger and the producers and you liked European cinema and the freedom to release it, did you think that in years that as people have now actually look back on that and really understand the reflection of the times and the empowerment of women's liberation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was ahead of my time because in the arena, I did frontal nudity, and my family went. But my mom said, "But you're playing an African woman who isn't modest. She's not going to cover herself." And so I was 45 years ahead of Anne Hathaway and Love and Other Drugs. And the brilliant, I love her to death, Helen Hunt, in The Sessions, when she sits on, her client's face, she's butt naked. I watched the audience. And when he said, "I can't breathe," and they laughed. And then Charlize Theron in Monsters, and Halle Berry, topless in Monsters Ball. There's this freedom of women who can really enjoy their nudity in their bodies and not be worried about being ostracized and someone say, "Oh my God, I saw a nipple." And then, like I said, Anne Hathaway had to apologize for her nipples at the red carpet. I'll never understand that. And she did. And I girl, don't ever do that. Don't apologize for your nipples. And we can cut glass. Men don't apologize for their nipples. So, but later in our narrative, to see that we've become more comfortable socially, religiously, spiritually, cinematically, in our art, I just absolutely love it. That I wasn't a spectator, I was a participant. I was just being true to the art, the truth of art. And as Stanislavski said, find your truth, stimulate what your truth will be, and people will believe you and honor that. And if you can't, you have a problem, you need help. You need to, if you can't enjoy a woman's body or a man's body, then in making love, what you see now, which is wonderful, that it's very human. I really enjoy that, and that it's really evolved. And I'm still around to see it. And we had our questions.
We're gonna have to make this really
One
quick.
more.
One more quick one.
One more hot one.
My question is, a lot of people use the term blaxploitation. Are you comfortable with that term? Is that a respectful?
Oh, I love it. You know why? It was a term coined by Jake McKinney at American International Pictures and Clarence Leslie in a trade magazine called Box Office. On the page are 4 movies, and it would have exploitation, sex, profanity for adults or children. And so for the black films, they would say blaxploitation for the black audience. And when there was the conservatives who weren't comfortable with me stepping in their shoes, and you know, my grandfather was like the first, feminist in my life that taught all the girls in my family how to hunt and fish and shoot. Now I'm stepping in the man's shoes. They were saying, oh, it's blaxploitation, but yes, it is, but it wasn't meant to be negative like Black Cat and Black Magic. But you know, before I had done Coffee, there were 15 films starring black males, and no one called them blaxploitation until I stepped in their shoes and I started smacking men upside the head. And Coffee was the film for women that said, I'm not turning my cheek anymore. Deal with that. They weren't ready for that. Years later, Columbiana, you see women standing up for their conviction, for their strength and empowerment, not to castrate. You see, I believe in alpha male and alpha woman. That's the balance in life. That'll work. And for that balance of yin and yang, that's what works for me. And I would never, and I try to explain to people what it is. Like, oh, okay, I see. Now, if you want it to be negative, that's your perspective for whatever reason. But it's cinema. Wasn't the Holy Grail the Bible? And, you know, wasn't Confucius? Wasn't Buddhism? Wasn't anything over dogmatic? It's just cinema. And so I'm very comfortable with it. And 45 years later, being studied and all over, playing in theaters in many, I don't know how many countries. I get fan mail still. I was going to bring some from 1971. I haven't opened. I treasure it. One day I'll open. When I'm in my walker, walking around, hey, I got some fan mail. I'm going to open this and see what they say. And see if I can write them back, and they'll answer. But I treasure my opportunity to be in this business, which is very, very, you have to commit. Not everybody wants to do it. And also I did 4 years of theater. Frankie and Johnny declared the moon. I was naked on stage wrapped in a sheet. Loved that play by Terrence McNally. He came to see it 9 months in San Diego, and I also did Fool for Love, the Sam Shepard play, 90 minutes and no intermission, where it's about a love story between a half-brother and a half-sister. The problem is, you can leave the relationship, but you can't leave your sibling. It's very difficult, very complex play. Loved it. And then August Wilson, he selected me to be in a piano lesson in Denver at the Denver City Center for the Performing Arts, and I played keyboards, and I wrote a real gospel song for the production and sang it. So yes, I've had a great run. And in May, I'm in a film in Toronto with Olympia Dukakis called The Blue Rinse Killers. And I'll have blonde hair, but this will be blue. And
that's all on Fox AM this morning.
And you're never too old to be a killer or an assassin. And in the UK in July, I'm playing another assassin in a film, a very dark and dangerous. I guess I look like the assassin.
You know what they're ready to do to me? They're ready to tear my head off because
we're finished. We can go on and on, but we won't.
But we will, because there's a lot more to come. So please come back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.